Celtic salt gets a lot of hype for its natural minerals and traditional harvesting methods, and you've probably heard Dr. Barbara O'Neill recommending it over table salt or other types of salt. But there's one concern that many people overlook: potential heavy metal contamination. Since it comes from seawater, which is becoming more polluted over time, there's a chance it contains trace amounts of lead, mercury, arsenic, and cadmium. So, should you be worried? Let's break it down. Why might Celtic salt contain heavy metals? Celtic salt is harvested from coastal seawater, mainly in France, using traditional methods. While this sounds great, the problem is ocean pollution. Thanks to industrial waste, mining runoff, and plastic pollution, certain heavy metals naturally end up in seawater. Some of the potential contaminants include lead. It can affect brain function and cause long-term organ damage. Mercury is a neurotoxin that builds up in the body over time. Arsenic, a known carcinogen linked to various cancers. Cadmium, that can damage kidneys and weaken bones. Since Celtic salt is minimally processed, it may still contain tiny traces of these metals. Let's see how much heavy metal is actually in Celtic salt. Most studies show that the levels of heavy metals in unrefined sea salts, including Celtic salt, are very low enough to be within safety limits. A 2018 study in Environmental Science and Technology analyzed different types of salts and found sea salts had some heavy metals, but they were below harmful levels. Celtic salt contained fewer contaminants than regular table salt, but slightly more than some rock salts, like Himalayan salt. Microplastics were also detected in many sea salts, which is another reason to be mindful of sourcing. So, while it's not a major health threat, it's still something to be aware of. So, how can we reduce the risk of heavy metal exposure from Celtic salt? If you love using Celtic salt but want to minimize potential risks, here are some simple tips. Buy from reputable brands. Some companies test their salts for purity and publish lab reports. Use in moderation. Too much of anything isn't good for you. Rotate with other salts. Try mixing it up with Himalayan salt or high-quality mined salts. Eat detoxifying foods. Foods like cilantro, garlic, and fiber-rich veggies help flush out heavy metals naturally. So, is Celtic salt still a good choice? Yes. In moderation, Celtic salt can still be a healthy addition to your diet. It's packed with magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which are great for overall health. But because of potential contaminants, it's always smart to choose high-quality sources and balance your salt intake. If you'd like recommendations for the cleanest Celtic salt brands or alternative salts with fewer contaminants, just let us know in the comments.